Today we're going to be looking at not just drawings of solid objects, but real solid objects. So we're going to start with a cube. Okay, so this is called a Rubik's Cube, and it's a puzzle that you can solve. And let's take a look at how many sides or faces it has. All right, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and turn it all the way the other way, 6. So a cube has 6 sides or faces to it, as opposed to just a flat square has only one side or one face. And that's a big difference between 3D shapes and 2D shapes. Okay, now let's look at the vertices. Okay, so the corners, 1 vertex, 2, 3, 4, then we flip it over, 5, 6, 7, 8. So anything that's going to be a square or a rectangle shape, and that's a solid shape or 3D, is going to have 8 vertices to it. All right, and let's look at a sphere. Okay, so a sphere is totally different than a cube. We have this ball here. It doesn't have any vertices. It has 0 vertices. There's no vertex here. There's no corner. And it really just kind of has one face to it that wraps all the way around because it's round. So it's kind of a special, unusual shape. And you know, the difference between this and a circle is that you can hold it, but we can't really tell the difference by number of corners or anything like that. And if you look at it, when we were doing our drawing yesterday, I was showing you how we can show a shadow that something's 3D. You can see a little bit of shadow here. You can see the light. You can see a little bit of shadow on the table, although it's sort of hard to see in the light right now. All right, let's look at a... Sorry, you might hear my son in the background. Let's look at a rectangular prism. So this is some tea that can help your tummy if you have a stomach ache. Ginger is a root that is cool for that, just a fun fact. So this box is a rectangular prism. Most boxes are. There are some boxes that are other weird shapes, but when you think of like a box shape, it's gonna be a rectangular prism generally. And what's different than that and a cube is that if we look at the cube right here, oh, my ball is rolling away. If we look at the cube right here, all of the sides or faces are exactly the same size. They all have these 9 little squares in them. They have the same area, what we call that area. You'll learn more about it later on each side. But with the rectangular prism, it has a square on one side, but it's longer on this side. It's a rectangle. So that's what makes it not a cube, is that it has different size sides. So it has 2 squares, and then it has 4 longer rectangles. But what's interesting is that it has the exact same number of faces and the exact same number of vertices as the cube. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, flip it, 5, 6, 7, 8 vertices, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 sides. All right, and then let's look at this. Oh, my ball rolled away again, you didn't see it. Let's look at this cylinder. We have a nice can of chicken soup, and it is round on the sides. It can roll, but if we flip it this way, we can't roll it. We can only like slide it. So it's part flat, part round. It has 1 circle on the top, 1 circle on the bottom, round all around. So any kind of tube or can is going to be a cylinder, and like our sphere here, it doesn't have any vertices, and it doesn't, but it does have sides and faces. So it has 1, 2 flat sides, and then it has the 1 round that wraps all the way around, but we don't really count that as like a side. And yeah, no corners. So what I want you to do today is I want you to explore the shapes in your home. I want you to see how many rectangular prisms you can find, how many cylinders you can find, if you can find any spheres, which is going to be anything that's a ball, if you can find cubes. Cubes are a little bit harder to find, but maybe things like dice would be a cube, or if you have this actual Rubik's Cube, that will do too. And then if you could find a pyramid, that would be cool. I couldn't find any pyramids in my house. It's not as common of a shape. So good luck on your shape hunt.